Welcome to the Mindful Mondays podcast, weekly reflections and meditations to start your week right. With your host, author, meditator, and founder of Mind, Body and Spirit Entrepreneur, Rachel Thompson.
Good morning, meditators, and welcome to the Mindful Mondays podcast. We are on day 3 of our second week of our mindfulness challenge. Yesterday, we focused on happiness and really observing what that happiness meant for you and how often you experience it in your life. Today, we're focusing on love. Now, love is an emotion associated with the heart, not the head. The term mindful love might seem like a bit of an oxymoron, but the mind plays a much larger role in the feeling of love than may be apparent. I want you to think of who you love now. This can be partners, children, family, friends, pets. Why do you love them? Think of what you love now. It could be like the beach or chocolate or bonfires or wine or a nice bubble bath. What do you love the most? And why do you love these things? So just thinking of who you love and what you love could and likely did bring about some warm and fuzzy loving feelings. When you keep your mind centered on love, it can help open up your heart and help expand that love. Now, the mind can also distract us from fully experiencing love. How many times have you been with your loved ones but been distracted with your thoughts? How many times have you been with the people you just thought that you loved the most but did not feel any love in those situations? I'm not saying that you don't always love them, but in those situations, you didn't sit in a feeling of love. How many times have you been doing things that you love but didn't get to fully experience all the happiness and all the joy and all the feelings of love that those experiences or those situations should bring you? For today, we're going to change this. Embrace each loving moment that you spend. I also want you to try and engage in an activity that you love or be around somebody that you love. That could mean calling a friend up. It could mean spending some amazing one-on-one time with your dog and enjoying it and just being fully present. I personally love my dogs more than I can even express, but there have been so many days where I've come home and they're so excited to see me and they're jumping up and I have a mind full of junk. And I give them some pets and then I just storm through the house and go about my business and don't even embrace it. The same with family. How often has your partner come home and maybe you're in a bad mood, he or she's in a bad mood, and you just don't embrace that love that you know you each have for one another? Today, we're going to change that. Also, I want you to fully embrace activities that you love. Now, this can be as simple as eating a piece of chocolate cake while sitting next to your loving cat and enjoying every second of the 5 minutes that it takes to eat that cake. During this time that you're doing anything you love or you're with anybody that you love, be fully present in your thoughts and your feelings towards the object of your love and your affection. Now, a very important piece of this is I want you to make sure that you eliminate all expectations prior to any loving situation. You do not want to expect your children to behave because you decided to embrace their presence today. Get rid of all those expectations. You can't control how anybody else reacts. Realize that we're all kind of in our own world and that others might not even notice or appreciate or embrace that you are being fully present. But if this is something you can adopt on a regular basis, people around you will naturally change. Not that we're trying to change anybody, but it is just an amazing side effect that happens whenever you mindfully live in loving moments. So rather than having expectations, You want to just sit in a mindful state and pay attention to how different the experience is than usual. You may even find you become more tolerant and far less reactive as you focus on loving thoughts instead of negativity or frustration. If you can leave the stress of the day or the stress of work behind you, and when you come home, you sit on the floor and you pet your dog whenever he greets you. You enjoy and appreciate spending time with loved ones. You ask a friend to go for coffee and you just mindfully sit in that moment, in the presence of your friend, while you drink your favorite cup of coffee and you mindfully enjoy every sip of it. Just pay attention to how different you feel as a result of living in this mindful, loving awareness. This is a really fun one, and I am definitely doing this today as well. It's always wonderful to have days like this. I hope that this is amazing for you. Remember, we're not focusing on how anybody reacts, how anybody responds. This is about your mindful, loving state, a state of appreciation, a state of gratitude, a state of presence, and allowing yourself to feel the love without any negativity blocking it. Also, we have one last day of the current meditation. I hope that you are enjoying it and you're enjoying that little time to just be mindful without having to think of anything else. If you haven't yet done it, make sure to check that out, and I will talk with you tomorrow. Love and light.
Thank you for listening to Mindful Mondays with Rachel, a mind, body and spirit entrepreneur production. If you enjoyed today's episode, head over to www.mymbse.com for more free resources and trainings. Don't forget to subscribe, rate and give us a review. And join us next week for a brand new meditation and reflection.